Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you can hear me and see my screen clearly. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Okay, so I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to today's class. I hope you've had a lovely break and holiday, and that you are happy to learn, and I hope you're well and you're happy to learn. So please see the sheet in front of you. Please start writing down and revising. So now we're in week 7, and these what we've been revising and learning are the rules of Noon Sakin. Noon Sakin, and as you can see, some of the rules, Noon Sakin is also connected to Tanween, because that's a hidden Noon sound. So now if you can see, number 1, we've got these are the letters of the throat called Haruf-e-Halki, or the letters of the throat. And I want to unmute somebody who can tell me what happens if these letters are placed, or when you're reading, when you're reciting the Holy Quran, when these letters come Noon, Sakin and Tanween, what rule is applied and how would we recite this? This is the question 1, yeah? So if you've got your hand up, then what that means is you know and you are happy to read with me, yeah? So I'm going to ask Wasif to unmute. Assalamu alaikum, Wasif. Beta, how are you?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking. Can I ask you a question again? When these letters of clarity, or Haruf-e-Halki, the letters of the throat, are placed, when we're reciting the Holy Quran, we see these letters and they're placed after the Noon Sakin or the Tanween. How would we recite this particular example on the screen? Do you know?
In this one, the Hamza has the double number. So you pronounce it as the Hamza and the Noon, but after that there's an Ain, so you don't do the Gunna for the Noon.
Okay. So do you know the name of this particular rule? Do you know it?
Izhar.
Very good. And can you say the example? Can you recite it for me?
Sawa'un alayhim.
So, and you recited lovely. It was lovely hearing your voice. So basically what you're saying, that this Noon Sakin or Tanween will be recited with clarity, yeah? And we would just read it as normal and there wouldn't be any change. So here in the second box, we've got Yarmalun letters, Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Wa, Noon. And you can see the acronym or the little phrase, Yarmalun. And when these letters come out to Noon, Sakin, Tanween, do you know what we do? We've got 2 categories here. We've got the Lam and the Ra. Can you see?
Yeah.
Wasif, yeah. So in this particular scenario, we've got the Ra and the Lam. And when Noon Sakin and Tanween are when Noon Sakin and Tanween are followed by Lam and Ra, do you know what we do? Can you read this and tell me?
Hudal lil muttaqin.
And I love the way you recited that. So thank you for letting me hear your voice, or letting us hear your voice. So Jazakumullah, and I'll call you again. So thank you for joining me. And I'm going to ask another student to join me. Thank you, Wasif. Jazakumullah. So I've got Faiza. Assalamu alaikum, Faiza beta. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking. So we were discussing these letters of idgham, yeah, and we had the yanmu letters, or yanmu letters. Now you can see that yanmu letters are ya, mim, ya, noon, mim, wow, and when they're placed after the Noon, Sakin and Tanween, and we've got an example here. What do we do?
With the noon and the ya, you make a gunna sound.
So can you show me? Yeah, can you show me how it's done?
Okay. Man yaqulu.
Right, that's it. Yes, man yaqul or man yaqul. That's fine. So you need to give this 2 seconds, and you did give that. Man yaqul. Okay, so in the first scenario, the Nun Sakin and Tanween that came before the lam, the ra, we did not we just skip it. We just, it's a silent Nun Sakin. We don't recite that one that comes before the Nun Sakin Tanween that comes before lam or ra. We do not recite it, it's silent. But this particular Nun Sakin that's followed after ya, nun, mim, wow, there's a 2-second gunna sound. And can you tell me also about question number 3 here? Do you know anything about this rule? Can you read this example?
Okay. Summum bukamum.
So here, what did you do? What is the rule called?
Iqlab.
Excellent. And what did you do? What did you do to the Nun Sakin or Tanween? Do you know? So you don't read the Nun Sakin, right? And you read the meme instead. So this was the rule called Iqlab, which means exchange, actually. Exchange, the rule of exchange, Iqlab. And what happens, we say, instead of the n sound, the noon sound, we said the meme sound. And we give that a 2 seconds. Yeah? We give 2 seconds because we got a gunna on the meme. Yeah?
Gee.
Okay, so that's good, excellent. And we've got some letters here, 15 letters that we conceal. Can you tell us something about that? Do you know anything about the letters that we conceal?
Isn't there?
Okay, so basically there are 15 letters that are followed after Nun Sakin and Tanween, and those letters are called the letters of Ikhfa, letters of concealment. Ikhfa means concealment. So we wouldn't say the Noon clearly. Basically, there'd be a hidden Noon sound. Zila, yeah? That's how you read that. Zila. And could you read this rule here? Look, there are exceptions to idgham rule. You read this particular Nun Sakin with Izhar. Can you read them to me?
Okay. Ad-dunya.
So we would read it clearly. Ad-dunya.
Ad-dunya.
Okay, and this one?
Bunyanun.
Yeah.
Sinwanum. Qinwanun. Okay,
that's lovely practice there. Thank you for joining us. So that was Faiza. Jazakumullah, Faiza, for your participation, and Jazakumullah for everyone who joined us at home that remained on silent. So please can I ask you to ensure that your heads are covered, that you're in wudu, and that you are not eating and drinking, eating, drinking during classes, that you have a pen and pencil beside you, and you, like I said, your heads are covered. So please join us with tilawat, even if you're on mute, and do not leave the class until the end dua is finished. Okay, and now I'm going to pass you over to my main course leader to take over the class and to take over for tilawat. Jazakumullah.
Jazakumullah. Thank you very much, Mr. Shakil. Okay, could I please ask Saima? Saiba, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam. What we will do is we will ask somebody to recite after the teacher today. It's a new surah. It has a few rules in there that we've learned already. Now, if you would like to, if you're confident in reading this surah, keep your hands up. I'm going to unmute somebody to recite after the teacher. Okay, I'm asking you to unmute.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum Zoya, would you like to recite after the teacher?
Okay.
Okay, let's start. Okay.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Should we start with da'was first? Or I don't have it on the screen. Sorry about that. But we can start with da'was first. Apologies.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل أعوذ برب الفلق
قل أعوذ برب الفلق
من شر ما خلق
من شر ما خلق
ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب
ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب.
Sorry, excuse me, just 1 minute. Sorry, Bida. Make sure, remember, after the teacher, we're going to do a hunna. We've learnt this rule the week before last. We're going to do a hunna here. So listen out and repeat after teacher. Please continue.
ومن شر النفاثات في العقد
ومن شر النفاثات في العقد
ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد
ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
Jazakumullah Zoya for that. Jazakumullah Saima Saiba. We will see you back at the end of the class for dua. Jazakumullah. You can see on the screen now. Now we're getting serious. Let's have a look at all of these rules under here. And we're going to become more familiar with these rules and names of these rules. And you can see here, there is a rule here right at the end. It says ikhfa. Ikhfa comes in this surah, and it was the last rule of Noon, Sakin, and Tanween that we did. And it appears 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It gives us a gunna sound, a light gunna. Now, if this was not color coded, you should still know that, because we did these rules a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks back, and a few weeks ago we did this one in yellow, izhar. We read this clearly because the tanween, the N sound, is followed by we call this hamza actually, but the at sound, okay? It's one of the huruf halaki less of the throat. So these words here, izhar, ikhfa, they should be more familiar. And here, of course, gunna, we should know what gunna is. The other ones, perhaps we're going to come across them, tafkhim, qalqala. We will cover those later, inshallah, okay? But today what you're going to do, we're going to go into our breakout rooms very soon. We're doing something a bit different now. So I hope that all of you are here. You have to be here. Remember, 5:45 you log in, because at 5:50 we've got that very important fill in the blanks, and then you're reminded about the etiquette of class, the do's and don'ts. 6 p.m. tilawat, we should all be ready to start the lesson. Now, sometimes we have a main lesson, but not on Mondays. On Mondays, what's going to happen is we're not going to learn any new rules on a Monday. We're just revising. So why not go into your breakout rooms with your teacher and you start your revision 15 minutes earlier? So right now, you're going to go into your breakout rooms in a minute or so. Be ready, and your teacher will go through this student handout. I hope, hands up please, who received the student handout from their teacher? I should have everybody's hand up for this, everybody's hand up. If your parents are on the group, they should be passing it on to you. And if your teacher hasn't, your teacher should have passed it on to you, but we should have more than 32 of you with this handout. This is what's going to help you with your rules. You're going to go through it today, okay? 6:45, I want you back in this main room for dua, please. So if there's 113 of you here now, 113 of you should be back at 6:45, okay? So let's make sure that we're all labeled with our room numbers so that we can go into our breakout rooms. If got office, can we please go into our breakout rooms to begin our lesson? Jazakumullah.